Hi and welcome back to Every Day is Spooktober. Um, my next video that I'm uploading, welcome. If you haven't seen my first ever video, go and check that out. Today's video, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the film Malignant 2021, made by my all-time favorite filmmaker, James Wan. If you haven't seen it, this is going to be full of spoilers. I'm just going to be talking about the plot of the film, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and just sort of like my overall rating as well. Just because it is a fun film. If you haven't seen it, it is pretty bad shit crazy. I'm not gonna lie what happens in this film. But like, stay around if you want to know more. Let's get into it. So, Malignant. So I watched this in the cinema when it first came out. And fun fact, I mean, I'm a huge fan of James Wan, as I've already said multiple times. I didn't really know this film was upcoming until I think I was like browsing the cinema listing one day and I was like, oh my god, James Wan made this, or like saw it on his Instagram. So I went and watched it and like I have to admit, like, my eyes were like glued to the screen. It was an intense experience, and it was overall just like, it wasn't what anything I was expecting. However, something I did hear about this is that, you know, before I watched it, is that it's like different from like anything he's ever done before. Like, it's just so different. So, it's nothing like The Conjuring, it's nothing like Annabelle or The Nun or Insidious or anything that he's done. It's just nothing like it. Although, something quite similar that I noticed in the film is it gave me very sort of like Saw vibes in the sort of brutality of murders and kills and things like that. Like, it was pretty intense. But I have to admit that was definitely one of like the coolest parts of it. I loved the sort of intenseness of it. This film is about Madison, a sort of middle-aged woman who's pregnant and she's with she's with an abusive husband who doesn't treat her very well. It sort of ends up with her being stalked in this house. Some sort of entity, some sort of creature kills her husband, and she's sort of left alone in this house. And as time goes on, she starts to see murders happening inside of her home. So she'll be at home, a room will transform into and transport her somewhere else where there's a murder taking place, and she starts seeing multiple murders going on, and she thinks she's being stalked and followed by this guy who's killing everyone. I'm not going to go too into it because, you know, for those of you who've seen it, I don't need to explain the plot. I think this is one of those films where it definitely sort of grows on you. But when I first saw it, I wasn't like, oh my god, like, this was so good. I think I had to, like, digest it, like, watch it again, you know, read a few reviews, get other people's opinions, and then I was able to sort of form my own. And I mean, I genuinely think this is, I like this, and like I've said before, I love the unique, the different, the out-of-the-box ideas, and as many people might be like, this is kind of dumb, this is stupid, it doesn't make sense, how does that work, like, is this a superhero movie? It definitely got me, like superhero vibes for sure, like supervillain vibes, but, like, I think it's something that I've never seen anything like that before, and I think, like I was saying, with it tying in, like, the Saw, like, bloody goriness of it too, I really like that, and I thought, like, it was effective, like, it got a reaction out of me for sure. I was, like, so shocked and surprised to see what I was seeing, and like, as much as, like, the effects, they're not super realistic, it does give it that sort of, like, goofiness to it a little bit. I will agree to, like, people that think that about it for sure, but I think at the same time it worked. It just worked because it was just so crazy. It was so nuts. Yeah, it didn't really make sense, or it didn't necessarily add up, but, like, what a movie. You could really go into this and sort of psychoanalyze it and think, like, about the deeper meaning of it. You know, and maybe this was all just in Madison's head. Maybe she made all of this up, who knows. But no, I really liked it. I think the thing that throws people off a lot with this is James Wan was trying to mix this film in with, like, 1980s cop show vibes. So I think some of the music choices, some of the dialogue, it was a bit clunky and a bit weird where it like would fit together. And I just think that that's why some people didn't like it and said, you know, they were like, nah, like this is rubbish, like I don't, whatever. So I can see that part of it, but I think in a way it worked because it was, the film in general was just, as a whole, was just so weird, was just so crazy, was just sort of all over the place, but it had a clear story and it had a clear arc. It's just one of those things that really catches people off guard when they see it, I think. So yeah, if I had to rate the film, I would give Malignant an 8 out of 10. Now people are probably gonna be like, that's really high for a film that's just like craziness. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I think the visuals were great. I think the acting was good. I think James Wan did a fantastic job at the camera angles, the movements. Some of the camera movements in this were fabulous. Like the overhead shot when she's running through the houses, that was so good. And like it makes you appreciate the films a bit more when you definitely, you know what I mean, when you pick up on those kind of things of camera angles and what how the camera is moving with the actors and things like that. So yeah, just, I mean, I studied film at university, so I feel like now that I've been able to be behind the scenes and create my own films, you definitely appreciate, you know, filmmaking a lot more when you do watch films. So yeah, I definitely think there's room for improvement. It could have been different and it could have been better, but overall I did really enjoy it, and I think it's one of those films that I think is popular and quite well known for just how out of the box and weird and different this film is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.